Well, greetings this afternoon. It's a glorious day outside, not too hot, not too cool. It's just right. It's been a while since we had one of those, and it's been a while since we've done an edition of On the Porch with Pastor. There's been much going on, and don't want to get into it. A lot of personal things that maybe you don't care to be interested in. We've had a difficult journey here the last 5 6 weeks, but just coming back from a week's vacation and ready to get back in and do some of these episodes for you guys. So this installment, again, these come from Front Porch Tales by Philip Gully. Lovely series of books, actually, if you care to pick up one. But this edition is called The Wizard of Is. The Wizard of Is. When my wife and I first married, we took a big camping trip every summer. We started out camping in a little tent, which worked fine, until one trip it rained 5 straight days and we went stir crazy. We saved our money and bought a bigger tent. It had 2 rooms and we enjoyed the extra space. Then we loaned it to my sister. She packed it away wet, the seams rotted, and the tent fell apart. My sister does things like this, and there isn't much that can be done about it other than to remind her of it whenever we need someone to watch the kids. Camping is a holdover from my growing up days. There were 5 kids in my family, and camping was the only vacation Mom and Dad could afford. Had we been able to afford other kinds of vacations, we kids still would have chosen camping, it being high adventure. Someone once told me that we don't remember days, we remember moments. What I recollect are moments gone but treasured. I'm 6 years old, camping with my family, and I catch my first fish on a Zebco rod and reel. Dad takes a picture, which is unearthed 25 years later on a Thanksgiving afternoon when my brother David hauls the picture box down from the attic. My 3-year-old climbs on my lap to look. I rub his head and wonder what he'll remember 30 Thanksgivings from now. We take our son Spencer camping. It's the summer of his 2nd year. Next to the bathhouse, there's a yellow slide that he's forever climbing up and gliding down. I wonder if he'll remember how it caught him at the bottom and whirled him in the air. How once I missed him, he tumbled in the dust. How the night he fell asleep on Mommy's lap by the campfire and woke up in the morning sticky with marshmallow. Sometimes I make the mistake of needing everything to be a memory, of straining to make every moment a snapshot, going through life with a camera to the eye, wanting the world to fall in step with my expectations. I forget along with the marshmallows come the mosquitoes, and that no amount of wishing otherwise changes that. Life isn't only about the should be, the moments gone but treasured. It's also about the is, the tumbles and the bugs. I live in this struggle between myth and reality, between should be and is. Went camping once with a friend and tried to pitch my tent on granite ground. Spent a half hour pounding in plastic stakes. My friend said, "Phil, sometimes you just have to pitch your tent somewhere else." This we call flexibility. If we're blessed, we learn it early. If we don't, life is immeasurably more difficult than it needs to be. This is the blessing of children. For all the difficult things they bring us their gifts too. I've learned more patience in 2 years with my son than in 30 years on my own. Spencer, my son, cures me of my fevered pounding. This sturdy boy man so unversed in oughts and shoulds. In truth, he's the resident wizard of is, giving me a heart for life on reality's road. Life on this road is life in the slow lane, a pace beyond my fevered pounding. From my little wizard, I learned to live the is and leave the should be to God. I think there's a lesson in this for all of us. thinking about it scripturally, Jesus in his word teaches us that we should take no thought for tomorrow. He says tomorrow will take thought for things of itself. Sufficient is today and the evils thereof. And I think he was trying to communicate the same thing that our friend Philip was communicating in the story, and that is, don't live in your past, or else you will not take advantage of your present. And don't vision cast too much into your future, because if you do, you won't take advantage of your present. And if the present is anything, friends, it's a chance for us, having reflected on our past, to make the necessary corrections, of course, so that our present doesn't become the past of our future that we dread. So maybe we should live in our present and embrace it more fully than we do. We're all going to have to give an account someday for the hours we spend and the fruit that we produce with them. One can only pray that when we face our Maker, we will have lived our lives to the fullest extent in His Spirit that we can. Until then, let's make it our goal. Why? Because Jesus is coming soon. So eyes to the skies.